he this year we started to talk about. I said, what if I fell pregnant and then he doesn't work or something? So I want him to take his future serious or anything. Then I started to show him short courses.
And she was interested in your friend, right? Your friend. Let's keep the pace going. Let's not. So you just got to do that.
In April of 2020, he's like, let's meet up, like at 2 in the morning. He's like, let's meet up. I'm like,
So you just got to do that. We have Bubbles. Can you hear me, Bubble?
hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
Welcome.
I can hear myself for.
Let me turn you down.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm good. I can kind of hear. I don't know if anyone else can hear what I'm hearing.
No, we're actually hearing you clearly. Like you
It's like an
sound
echo.
clear. It's not echoing on my end. We're hearing you
Wait,
clearly.
can the chat tell me if it sounds weird? Yes, echo. See, it must be for you. I think your like system is doing something.
Okay, you can go ahead. Go ahead. Is it better now?
Is it? Yeah, no, I can still hear myself.
I don't know. I can't hear. Like, are you guys hearing an echo?
I can hear it in your chat, Ken. Just mute yourself. Mute yourself.
Oh yeah, that's probably the best.
If you try muting yourself, then okay, give me a thumbs up when you mute yourself.
Mute microphone.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So, I guess my dating story is I was seeing this guy on and off from when I was um, like 18 to like 25, like very, very on off, on off, on off. And he was like super sketchy. And he would be like, oh, I want to like make this exclusive. I want to get serious with you. And then this was in 2020. He was like, oh, I love you. And I can't get over you. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's make it work, you know? And then so I was like, listen, I'm tired of going back and forth with you. It's really annoying because it's been happening for years. And then um, in April of 2020, he's like, let's meet up like at 2 in the morning. He's like, let's meet up. I'm like, listen, buddy, I know you why you want to meet up at 2 a.m. We're not doing anything. Like, get out of my face. So I did not. And this was during like peak COVID, and I was scared for my mom to like get sick or something because she's like really bad asthma. So I said no for all those reasons. And this was like April. And then we didn't talk. We were off again. And then sometime in July, I open up Instagram. And what do I see on my For You page? His wedding. And I heard that he was with her for like I heard through the community and through the grapevine that he was with this girl for like 3 years, and they were like dating each other. And that's why like all these, sorry, I'm flossing my teeth at the same time, but like that was why like throughout the years he would only see me like weird hours or like very spontaneously. And like and I was like a stupid kid, so I didn't put two and two together. So I saw his wedding, and it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. You're gonna. So um, I see his wedding. I'm like, okay. And me, I didn't want to tell the wife because I was like, damn, I don't want to home wreck anybody. And she just got married, and maybe he changed. I don't know, right? Whatever. Um, but I knew for a fact that they were dating the whole time. Him and I were talking because like they dated for a few years, but I knew him for a long time before that, right? So so his wedding was July 2020. Okay. October 2020, a few weeks before my birthday, I get a text from him, and he's like, I just saw a girl with curly hair and it made, because I have really curly hair naturally. He's like, I just saw a girl with curly hair and it made me think of you. I miss you so much. And then I texted him some like long paragraph. I'm like, don't effing text me again or I'll show your wife. I know you've been dating her for a few years. Now I know why you could never be exclusive with me. Good luck. And then I blocked him. But yeah, like I still have all of our chats because like I don't delete anything off my phone. I'm like a chronic like saver of everything. And I don't know, I just couldn't show her. I just don't have the heart, man. I was like, fuck. And she had this like they had this beautiful wedding in 2020 with like the tent and then they had a helicopter ride fly them in. And I was like, damn, like I know, and I could tell this was like a freaking long planned wedding. It wasn't like a spur of the moment. And yeah, I have other stories too, but that was like one that popped in.
So you just gotta do that. We have Bubbles. Can you hear me, Bubble?
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
Welcome.
I can hear myself for.
Let me turn you down.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm good. I can kind of hear. I don't know if anyone else can hear what I'm hearing.
No, we're actually hearing you clearly. Like you
It's like
sound
an echo.
fine. It's not echoing on my end. We're hearing
Wait,
you
can the
clearly.
can the can the chat tell me if it sounds weird? Yes, echo. See, it must be for you. I think your like system is doing something.
Okay, you can go ahead. Go ahead. Is it better now?
Is it? Yeah, no, I can still hear myself.
I don't know. I can't hear. Like, are you guys hearing an echo?
I can hear it in your chat, Ken. Just mute yourself. Mute yourself.
Oh yeah, maybe that's probably the best.
If you try muting yourself, then okay, give me a thumbs up when you mute yourself.
Mute microphone.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So, I guess my dating story is I was seeing this guy on and off from when I was um, like 18 to like 25, like very, very on off, on off, on off. And he was like super sketchy. And he would be like, oh, I want to like make this exclusive. I want to get serious with you. And then this was in 2020. He was like, oh, I love you. And I can't get over you. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's make it work, you know? And then so I was like, listen, I'm tired of going back and forth with you. It's really annoying because it's been happening for years. And then um, in April of 2020, he's like, let's meet up like at 2 in the morning. He's like, let's meet up. I'm like, listen, buddy, I know you why you want to meet up at 2 a.m. We're not doing anything. Like, get out of my face. So I did not. And this was during like peak COVID, and I was scared for my mom to like get sick or something because she's like really bad asthma. So I said no for all those reasons. And this was like April. And then we didn't talk. We were off again. And then sometime in July, I open up Instagram. And what do I see on my For You page? His wedding. And I heard that he was with her for like I heard through the community and through the grapevine that he was with this girl for like 3 years and they were like dating each other. And that's why like all these sorry, I'm flossing my teeth at the same time. But like that was why like throughout the years he would only see me like weird hours or like very spontaneously and like and I was like a stupid kid, so I didn't put two and two together. So I saw his wedding, and it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. You're gonna. So um, I see his wedding. I'm like, okay. And me, I didn't want to tell the wife because I was like, damn, I don't want to home wreck anybody. And she just got married, and maybe he changed. I don't know, right? Whatever. But I knew for a fact that they were dating the whole time him and I were talking because like they dated for a few years, but I knew him for a long time before that, right? So, so his wedding was July 2020. Okay, October 2020, a few weeks before my birthday, I get a text from him, and he's like, I just saw a girl with curly hair, and it made, because I have really curly hair naturally. He's like, I just saw a girl with curly hair, and it made me think of you. I miss you so much. And then I texted him some like long paragraph. I'm like, don't effing text me again, or I'll show your wife. I know you've been dating her for a few years. Now I know why you could never be exclusive with me. Good luck. And then I blocked him. But yeah, like I still have all of our chats because like I don't delete anything off my phone. I'm like a chronic like saver of everything. And I don't know, I just couldn't show her. I just don't have the heart, man. I was like, fuck. And she had this like they had this beautiful wedding in 2020 with like the tent, and then they had a helicopter ride fly them in. And I was like, damn, like I know, and I could tell this was like a freaking long planned wedding. It wasn't like a spur of the moment. And yeah, other stories too, but that was like one that popped in my head. That's like crazy. But um, yeah, and I honestly, truly, and like, I don't know if the chat would agree, but like, let's say I'm that type of girl, and I was like, "Ooh, I miss you too." When he said he misses my curly hair, this guy would 100% have an affair with a girl. 100%, he would keep it going. But because I found out, and I told him off, and then I threatened to show his wife, he's like, "Oh crap, I can never message her again." So like, ever since October 2020, I've never heard from this guy. You could unmute. I'll stop talking so it doesn't echo, but yeah.
Wow. Oh my. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Someone is asking, why didn't you tell her?
I didn't tell her because I can still hear myself echoing, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I didn't want to tell her because I felt really bad, and I just don't want to like I don't want to ruin somebody. I don't know. I felt like guilty if I told her. And honestly, there's a lot of women out there, and not to like pin it on women because I understand like how they feel and stuff. But I just feel like a lot of women would be like, "Oh, I don't believe her," or "Oh, f this biatch," because it's just like they're in such denial that they wouldn't. Yeah, he's muted because he has a weird echo when I talk. But yeah, um, yeah, he's muted because it echoes when I talk. But yeah, like some women are like super, super, super defensive, and they don't do anything with that info anyway. So I was like, I don't really know if she's a type to like take that info with a grain of salt or take it seriously.
That's wild. That's pretty wild. I mean, in the end, you didn't really know. Can you guys can hear me, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So in the end, you didn't really know, right? He was the one who had something going on in the background, and you, based on the whole, you know, you said the wedding looked like it was well planned.
Yeah, like elaborate.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What advice could you give us based on that whole thing? What advice could you share with us tonight?
From me or from the like comments? From me?
Yes, from you.
Um, well, now that I'm much older than I was in 2020, I guess like not to like to take the signs, the red flags early and realize that this is like sketchy. But I just think when you're like so young, you don't see these things. Like you don't, or you don't care to see them because you're like, oh, I really like this person. You know? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll let other people join.
No worries. Hey, thank you so much for joining and sharing your story.
Yeah,
That was great.
thanks.
Right. Okay, doctor, welcome. Guys, let's keep the pace going. Can you guys hear me? I don't know. Can y'all hear me? Check, check, check. Can you hear me? Yeah. Guys, If you have a story that you would love to share with us tonight, hit that request to join and I'll get you in. Let's keep the pace going. Want to keep that pace going? So keep requesting, keep requesting. Someone said no, yes. Speak up. I'm speaking up. I'm not speaking down. Can you guys hear me?
How's it going?
Can you? I'm good. I'm good. You hear me clearly?
Yeah.
No echo.
This is just a random story.
Okay.
I met this girl. She tried to, let's say, unalive herself, and with like pills, and she ended up losing the ability to give birth. And ultimately, I flew her out, and it was a great time. It was a great time for that that we that's it. That's it.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay. That was a on point, to the point story. So you changed her life, and she now want to be around, which is good. Like, it's always good. One thing for people who are in that state of mind, it's like it's always. I wish that there's one person that could have had the opportunity to tell them that, hey, if you stick around until tomorrow, I guarantee that with the right mindset as well, it is a possibility that you will smile again. You know what I mean? A lot of people, I think, would do well hearing just that
So,
one.
hi,
Hello,
how are you?
good.
So, basically, my ex lied to me about having a certain street drug and spiked my drink with it and ended up doing something when I was asleep.
That's crazy. That is pretty wild.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that. But
it's
I'm
alright.
guessing you're not with that person no more.
No.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Um, and it sounds like you're in a much better place,
Yeah.
dealing with those kind of stuff. So yeah, what advice could you give us tonight? I like to ask people that.
Keep your standards high.
You heard that, chat. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Who's next? Keep the request coming in, guys. If you have a story that you want to share, hit the request to join and let's get you in right now. Molly, I'll get you in, Molly. Molly, you're next. Guys, if you're new, drop your country in the chat. Let's get to 10K likes. Molly, welcome.
Hello, Mr. Host.
Hi, Miss Molly. Hi. I'm going to
I
mute
can't
so
hear
you.
you, but it's fine.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, here's my story. I have 14 hours, I think, being a single lady. And this is what happened. I met my boyfriend. He was at his lowest. I was a student. He was not working, not a student or anything. So everything we went 50-50. If ever we went to book, I will pay 50, maybe, or I will buy the food and then he will pay the room. And then that is how our relationship was. And he started to demand so much. He started to change my outfit, and then he started to change people around me. I was having gay friends. Then he started to say he doesn't want me around males. So I had to drop all my friends, my high school friends, everyone. And then this year we started to talk about, I said, what if I fell pregnant and then he doesn't work or something? So I want him to take his future serious or anything. Then I started to show him short courses that will take maybe 2 weeks, 3 months or something. So he started to take one of the courses. And then luckily he got a job with it and then got paid and everything. But you know what happened? uh, when he started to work, before he started to work, he bought a car and then said he will pay with the first payment, like a first payment from the work, without telling me. Okay, I found I like the way it just got to me. It was like, this guy, if ever he cannot plan with me, then we cannot build. Because how can you just buy a car without telling me that, babes, I'm thinking of buying a car or something? So on his first payment, he started with the car and everything, and then he was left with 0 0. And then he went to celebrate for the car with the friends and everything. And then when he wanted to go home, he was not having a taxi fee or something. So I was the first person to being text and be like, baby, I'm stranded, waka waka. So can you borrow me a money or something? Then I did that. And then I missed him, obviously. So we planned to meet up and link up, and celebrate and whatever. And then when we got to the guest house, imagine the guy was like, I'm broke. It was 8 days, only 8 days after getting the money. He was like, I'm only having 40 bucks. 40 bucks, dude, like 40 bucks. We just got paid. We never even went for ice cream or something. So I had to pay for the room and everything. But I was like, cool, it's my boyfriend. And then after that, oh, after that, I only found out that he's not into me because of he's into me. He's in the idea of having me, because now I realized that he likes chubby girls. Now he likes those girls who goes out, and he finds me so, I don't know, he finds me so boring or something, because I don't like to go out and I'm not chubby. So he started to post about he wants a chubby mommy, someone that is wearing dresses and it can feed, not the slender ones and whatsoever. Like, I was just in that picture, Jay, I think. So I started to ignore him, and I told him before that I wanted you to treat me better. I didn't want your money or anything. I just wanted you to be there for me mentally, like support me or anything. So yeah, I just decided to walk out from the relationship, and it seems like he doesn't care, because he never call and ask, how are you, why are you doing this, nothing. So it pains. Like, even now, I've been studying since from 12 o'clock until now, just to get my mind off it, because of I don't have a break in my mind. Every time when I'm sitting, I'm thinking about, how can I do this to myself? How did I get myself in this kind of a situation? Because to be honest, it just like killed me inside. Yeah. Mr. Host, I can't hear you. Mm, it's bad. But thank you for listening, because I can't hear you. Like, it's so bad.
Can you guys hear me now? Check, 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 check. Can you guys hear me? I think it's the. I think I'm gonna have to work on my setup tomorrow. But yeah, like that is. I've never heard that before. I've always heard the reverse, like the reverse. Usually, uh, the girl would complain that she left for another girl on the slimmer side or whatever. But it's interesting. But that's not even the point. It's like he pretty much was not able to maintain the relationship. He was more focused on, um, you know, prioritizing his own wants. And when it come to your time and both of you hanging out, he didn't have money. He didn't have, like, he had nothing to put to the table, pretty much, which is a sign of like no interest. And eventually you figure that out. And did you say it's only been 17 hours since you separated?
Yeah, it's been 14 hours.
Oh my gosh, did you just say 14-hour, 1 minute and 33 seconds? Like you sound like you you have the time on point. But yeah, do you think that you're gonna go back to that guy though?
No, I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't think so because of even for him to post me, he was like, I'm a private person that he can post about the girls and everything. So at this point,
I see, I see. Well, um, he showed you who he like. Maybe he's who did that? Who did that with the follow? Who did that with the follow? Um, he showed you how he would treat you, right? Molly, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, yeah, she fell out. But yeah, he pretty much showed her like how he would treat her in marriage or relationship overall, like you know. So I guess she did herself a favor and move on. 14 hours now. 40. It's been 14 hours, guys. 14 hours. Who's that with a follow? Who is doing that? Who is doing that? Guys, let's get the likes up to 10K. Want to get the likes all the way up to 10K. Is this your first time watching my live? If it's your first time here, I want you to type first. First in the chat. First. Type first. If this is your first time. This thing. If this is your first time, type first. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That was interesting. Queen Queen Peach. Queen Peach, you said it's your first time here. Welcome to my live stream. You've been missing out. Sorry. My apologies. You have been missing out. So just to let you know. Just to let you know. Tate, you said it's your first time. First time here you had to follow. I'm telling you, like this you guys think this is the crazy boy. Oh. Hey, listen. Anyway, who else have a story? Let's keep the pace going. If you have a story of your own that you would love to share with us, maybe you just want to hear others' point of view and get some advice, whatever it is, you can hit the request to join. No worries, that's okay, Molly. I think you got to share what you wanted, right? So it's okay, all good. Your Wi Fi interrupt at the right time because you were done. But yeah, I don't know. Like, you do have people who they're unsure. They're pretty unsure of what they want, especially when they're not. It's always, I think, a lot of things contribute to that. It could be age, it could be financial situation, or like education, like where they're at with their education. Maybe they want to finish school. All of that. There's a lot of things that contributes to um, instability. Marisa, oh, you've been here before. I don't remember. Hi, can you hear me? Hi.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have a story to tell.
Okay. Are you hearing a feedback or are you good? It's
Do I need a feedback?
no, no, no. I thought it's okay. Go ahead. I was wondering if you were getting an echo, but it's okay.
I am getting the echo, but I think once you mute, it will be okay.
Okay, okay. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was dating this guy. We met online.
I'm getting the echo. Do you want to mute, Sauce? All right. So I met him online, and the first initial interactions was pretty normal. You know, chemistry, we could have good conversation, and so I was like, okay, he seems like a nice person. Let me give him a try. We started going out, and I would say we did kind of got too close too quickly. We started hanging out right away, and I would spend time at his place. He'll spend time at my place, and everything was fine. And I couldn't see, I couldn't see anything too alarming. And then, as we're hanging out, of course, life goes on for us as individuals, and I was moving, and during the process of the move, when I was moving, like, he didn't offer to help me at all. And then he didn't help me at all, and I didn't ask either. I was like, okay, maybe he's busy. So then, as things are happening, then I start seeing reactions that are like just not right. Number one was on the day that my movers are there, he decides he wants to go to a certain place and get something. And I'm like, my movers are going to be here in like 3 hours. Are we going to be back? And it's like, yeah, we'll be back. Of course, he takes me to this place, a furniture shop that's like an hour and a half away. And by the time we're there, we have to get back because my movers are going to be by my place soon. And he makes a whole scene about it. And I said, you knew, why would you like even bring me up here? So anyway, we get back, we're late. We're hugely late, and the movers are already almost ready to leave. And he was super happy about it. He's like, yeah, they're going to leave. Just don't stress. They're going to leave. You're going to have to reschedule the move. I'm like, what are you talking about? The moving is expensive. This is not good. And he was really joyful about it. And I was like, that's weird. Then I started noticing this very common in him. He was like, he wanted to sabotage anything that was happening in my life or anything that I was going through. He would sabotage it, and he was almost jealous. I had an Airbnb business on the side, and I was going through some things, and he was super happy. He was like, what made you think it's a good idea to do Airbnb? And it was just the beginning of it. Airbnb was really good, and I was making good money, and he was like really talking it down, and he was super jealous. Like, for instance, one night I spent about 3 hours cleaning the Airbnb, and I got home super tired, and he made a huge fuss over something as small as me bringing in my boots inside. It was raining, and we went to bed after a huge fight, and he knew I was exhausted. Like, I had spent 3 hours cleaning the Airbnb, and the behavior, it just kept getting more bizarre. But then it just keeps escalating, and I was not prepared for what hit me. There were these pills that he was taking. Every day he had to take a pill. And I was like, what are these things? He was like, oh, it's for my heart. I was like, okay. I was a little suspicious because like he had to take these pills every day, and he didn't want me to see the pills. So I took a picture of the bottle just because I was curious. One day the bottle was sitting there, and I took a picture of it. I forgot about it for like some time. And the reason I checked the pills was because one day we had a nice dinner. We were sitting and having a chat. Nothing too deep, nothing too philosophical, just a regular chat. And I just, he said something, and I said, well, that's stupid. He just went from a sane person to an unhinged, insane individual. You are calling me stupid? You are calling me stupid? I had an injury in my knee. So my knee was in a brace. He fucking grabs me by my other leg towards the balcony. And I don't know what he was intending to do, like throw me off the balcony. I was like, what the fuck are you doing grabbing me off the couch? And then he just suddenly comes to himself and he grabs his head and he's like, nothing. I'm like, I'm leaving. This is insane. I go home and I check and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this man obviously has some kind of issue that I don't know about. Like, the switch is very sudden. This is extreme violence over like a simple word that triggers him to that level. So I went ahead and I checked. Hold on. What are you saying, VAR? What is VAR saying? I feel like he's kind of like attacking me. If so, can you kick him out? Anyway, so then I go home and I remember I have a picture of the pills. I put a picture on Google and I'm like, and then it comes up psychotic medication. Psychotic medication, severe schizophrenia.
So he just didn't disclose that to you.
No.
Wow.
And he was taking these pills daily. I'm not echoing, by the way, anymore.
Okay.
And he didn't say nothing. And I just keep researching because now I'm curious. I'm like, what is going on? And I look it up and I also go through his Facebook and I end up connecting with a girl that knew him and said, this man has been psychotic. He has episodes, severe episodes every now and then. And his entire family is done with him. And he's been kind of like, been disowned because he's done some violent act towards his mother. Nobody speaks to him. And you are lucky you just got away with being grabbed from the couch and being pulled towards the balcony, because when he gets violent, he's extremely violent. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I was shocked.
Yeah.
And then as everything unfolds, I start to see, these behavior of trying to sabotage me, the jealousy of my, my independence, my success, just everything, the sudden yelling, inability to take criticism, like extremely fragile when it came to any kind of criticism, even constructive criticism. Yeah, so that was the story. So I was dating a schizophrenic psychopath, and I didn't know it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What advice could you give us based on your experience?
I think definitely is getting close too quickly it's based on my experience to this point, becoming too close too quickly is always a red flag. Someone that is serious, someone that truly wants to build a meaningful relationship will take their time and they will evaluate you because they want to give you their time. Same goes here. Maybe I was too eager and I gave in to that, his interest and his pursuit, and I shouldn't have. And I noticed this as a pattern that anyone that tries to become too close too quickly usually is not the right person. If anything, could be a predator or a very damaged individual. They will try to create intimacy very quickly to bypass your to kind of like manipulate you.
To get you attached and
yes, like to bypass your rational mind. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Even though like I wasn't in a state that I would say I was too emotional and like head over heel, but no, it wasn't like that, but still, like, I became close, and
Yeah, like
I
attachment.
believed him to be a decent human being, even
Yeah,
though
that's
he's
one of
far.
the things. Attachment is one of the things that obviously you said it binds you, you get attached to this person, and now it's emotional, all of that stuff. So definitely some people try to haste that process so that you don't discover who they are, and when you discover who they are, you're already in, so you will probably do some second thought, before letting them go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like true to some extent, yes, because there was like some points that I was like, either we should end this. I really don't want to get too close to you. And he was like, but why? We're having such a chemistry. Why not get to know each other more? And as time passes, it's even easier if we want to break up, because then you know everything that you need to know, but right now you're just giving up. So yeah, absolutely, it was all subtle manipulative tactics, that in my opinion came across very poetic and in a content and skin of interest and pursuit, but in fact it wasn't. And I actually read a study that usually the most successful relationships start very boring at first.
Okay.
In reality, like, they can be
Guys,
slow.
chat, you heard that? Chat. Who disagree? You guys heard that? Okay, I hear you. I see. Wow. Well, one thing, like you said, they said it to you that, based on how that individual was, pretty much you're the one that got away.
Yeah, I did. No, I really
You
did.
dodged a bullet.
Yes. And I later find out that anyway, the whole time he was also talking to other people on Facebook, and he was keeping more options in line in case I failed. Anyways, thank you for
sharing.
bringing me up. Yeah, it's so much fun watching your live. I learned so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Alrighty, who is next? Guys, let's get to 10K. I want to get to 10K likes real fast. We can do better. I know we can do that. Let's do that. 10K likes. If you have a story of your own that you want to share with us tonight, hit that request to join. Hit the request, guys, and let's keep the pace going. Hi, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi. Have a story for us today?
Hi.
You want to share? You have a story for us tonight?
No.
Okay. What do you have for us tonight?
Just wanted to say that you are cute.
I see. Well, that's not a story, and what we're trying to get is a story, okay?
Okay.
Gotta lock in with me, guys. Lock in with me. Trying to get some stories. If you have a story, hit that request to join and let's go for it. Someone said, haha, we know. All right. PENO, let's get you up here. Hi, can you hear me? Penelope.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Welcome.
Okay, well, let me start by saying I've never been in a relationship before, and that's because men are shallow, and none of you guys want to date girls that are ugly, so this is kind of your fault. And I also want to say that I'm almost 20. I'm turning 20 at the end of the year, and this is like, I came on here to say that all the men nowadays are saying, oh, like there's a loneliness pandemic. No, there isn't. It's because you're all shallow and you're not dating in your league. So that's the truth. And you guys have rejected me and, say that I was ugly. I know I am, but you should at least ask me out on the date.
Listen now. Slow down. Take a deep breath. So you're saying that you don't think that you have met the right person for you just yet?
No, because I have asked out guys before and they rejected me because I'm not good looking. So I asked them out and they said no because I'm ugly.
Oh my gosh. Chat, usually chat, somebody, Name. Let's get Name up here. Let's hear what Name has to say. N-E-N-E, Nini. You heard what she
Hi,
said.
can you guys
What
hear
do you
me?
think? Yeah, what do you think about what she's saying? Hold on, Nini. What do you think about
Okay,
what?
that's okay. So guys rejected you because they thought you were ugly, right?
I am ugly. I'm unattractive. I know I am.
Okay, then maybe you should go to somebody that is the same level as
That's
you.
what I did. I went even below that and they still said no because you have to understand they're all shallow. That's how they are.
Guess what?
That's not
Listen,
really true,
someone,
though. You can't generalize the whole community. Like every man is shallow. That doesn't make sense, though.
They are. Are you beautiful? I think you're a
someone said
beautiful
in the
woman. That's how
chat,
you think
be
that.
proud of yourself. Okay, that's what someone said. Be proud of yourself.
But for you to
And
not find at least one person, that means there's something in you that a lot of people don't want to be surrounded around.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I
my
mean?
looks. Duh, that's
That
why I'm
doesn't make
here.
that does not
It
make
does.
sense. There's a lot of women who are not attractive that are in a relationship. That does not make sense. You're just making excuses. You are
Can you
making
please show
excuses.
me those women?
Maybe if you stop blinding yourself, you will find these women. Maybe if you stop being defensive, you will find these women. And stop
No, send
blaming.
them.
And if stop blaming men, you will be finding these women that actually date men and they're not attractive.
You're lying. I know what I'm saying.
No, you're just being defensive, and that's the problem.
Hold on. So
Okay. And what's your experiences with dating then, since you know everything?
All right. So Name.
It's amazing.
Name.
Yeah, because you're conventionally attractive. Duh.
Girl, you really need help. I think you need therapy because I feel like you have very low self-esteem and you're very insecure and you project your insecurities on men when you shouldn't. It's that simple.
You're just like, okay, right.
No one wants to surround themselves with someone who is insecure and someone who projects their insecurities on others. No one wants to surround themselves with that. Yes, it is.
The
way you came on this live, you blamed Chill for no reason. He doesn't even know you. And you say, you men. Who wants to surround themselves with someone like that? You need to understand it's more than just looks. It's not.
Let's
I want to just say, when it comes to asking out, do you know when the society says men ask out women, right? I have never been asked out. I am turning 20 at the end of the year.
All right,
so make that make sense.
All right, so Neen, wait, don't say anything yet. Okay, let's look at the chat. Let's look at the chat for a sec.
Okay, let me read. Sorry.
Don't say anything yet. Chat, you heard what she just said, right? I want you to type your thoughts in the chat. Penolo, Penolo. Can you just look at the chat for a sec? Guys, don't stay silent. Because I know that there's a lot of people who have a thought, including myself, but let's hear what they have to say for a sec. Someone said it's a confidence and self-worth. Okay. Guys, I want you to type something that is actually, it's what is that called? I don't have any friends in my own country. I respect everyone. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. Can you pronounce your name? Penelo? Penelo?
Penelope.
Pelani. Sorry, I'm the worst.
Penelope, yeah. Penelope.
Penelope, okay.
Yeah.
So what I would say, Penelope, is like one of the most important thing is confidence. You know what I mean? You definitely have to have I guess a different perspective as regards to your thoughts, your perception on how people are viewing you, because sometimes you're probably wrong. And with that being said, it's safe to say that you might just need to change your perspective on that. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Would you or have you ever asked out a girl that is unattractive socially? Have you ever asked one out? Or would
You
you
know
even?
something? You know something?
No, it's a yes or a
Every
no question.
no, it is not a yes or no.
No, I'm making a yes or a no question.
It's not a yes or no. And let me tell you why. Let me explain why it's not a yes or no. I don't see your picture, and it doesn't matter. But everyone can classify themselves as not looking beautiful or whatever it is. Everyone can say that because they probably have someone like I'm not even going to say the Kardashian, but people typically use them as an example for I don't know why reason, but you have people who say that if I don't look like this specific person or these specific group of people, then I'm just not attractive, right? It's a perception. But then you have someone else who is like, hey, this person, they see your heart, they see you, they like you physically, all of that. You understand? You just gotta appreciate who you are physically. Everyone try to work on themselves mentally, their self-esteem, all of that. And that I'm telling you, that's it. I'm saying that because we know that there's always someone out there for someone. I'm just.
So the answer was basically no.
I didn't
That
tell you this.
He didn't say that.
No, I know, but you're talking about personality. I'm speaking about looks. I'm talking about the face. Face is what I'm
all
talking
comes
about.
together, right? It all comes together.
No, because the face is something.
Chat, help me.
They do come together because you can't just date an attractive person just because they're attractive. What if their personality is garbage?
I never said that.
Yeah, but
I'm
you said
talking
they're
about
separate.
asking people out because
He
that's the only
said
thing you can
they
see.
came
You
together.
can
The
only see their looks.
personality and attractiveness, they do come together.
But
Exactly.
attractiveness still matters,
Beauty
right?
comes from within. Thank you, Nolly.
Beauty does not come from. Beauty can come from within, yes, but I'm talking about the outside. If you can acknowledge beauty as a thing, why can't you acknowledge ugliness as a thing?
We never said we're not acknowledging there's attractive people or there's not attractive people, but you can't just date people just because they're attractive. There's more to that. There's personalities.
I know, but I'm saying when it comes to short-term dating and when you're asking people out, looks is the only thing you have. You won't know their personality until later.
Sorry, your name. Awesome name. But what I'm saying is, while that is relevant, we're not saying that it's irrelevant. Overall, what we're saying is the overall package, and not just that. It's honest. I think I said it earlier on. There's always someone for someone. Like, I just think so. I've seen. I hate to say, but like you're saying that you consider someone as unattractive, but hey, you see that person with someone, you know what I mean? So I just stand by it. There's always someone for someone. You just gotta maintain the right mindset, put yourself out there, and just keep searching. I'm telling you.
This is how
someone said disagree. What do you disagree with? I want you to tell me. Don't just tell me you disagree. What do you disagree with? That there's someone for someone, like everyone. Like, I know this. Like, I'm saying that because we see this, and I think I'm on Earth long enough to just say that safely. So what do you disagree with? Okay, so I think the chat censored my comment. What's her comment, Queen?
She said that there are people who die without getting married or being with anyone ever. That's her opinion.
And I would say that it's also by maybe the mindset you know what I mean? Maybe the mindset is also the maybe the mindset of that person contributed to that, because there are some people who they just don't want anyone. I'm telling you, like, we know this.
Also, how I think about it is our purpose in life is not just to be in a relationship. There is more to life than just relationships. So yes, there's people out there, their purpose, they feel like they need to be successful in life. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why people think that, oh my God, I have to be married, or I have to be in a relationship, or I have to have kids. I can't just die alone. I don't like this idea of what's wrong with dying alone. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. Your
You know
value
what?
is not a child. Your value is not a relationship. You're more than that.
Nini,
I
guess
guess.
what? Nini, is it your first time watching my stream?
Yeah, it is, and it's really fun so far. Yeah.
All right, tell us your story, because
Oh yeah. Yeah,
she
for
told
sure.
us that.
Okay. So I'm 19 years old. So from where I come from, like our culture is like getting married and whatever, not like dating, like boyfriend and girlfriend, but like going on dates, but whatever. But our end goal is to get married, and you know what I mean. So that's technically my culture. I'm just giving you an overview. So I went on this dating app. I met somebody from there. He was, I think, 24 years old. And we were talking, you know, he physically fit my standards. He's not good looking, but just physically, like, for example, like, you know, he works out. I like someone who works out because I work out personally. I can tell, like, he smells good and he has good hygiene. That's important to me. But looks is not that important. You know what I mean? And his education matches my education, obviously. I'm still in university, but he already graduated. So anyways, so we were talking and whatever, and then he was like, at the beginning, like the first day, everything was good, everything was perfect. And then I was like what I usually do, I like to have phone calls before I meet someone, because I feel like you will know somebody over the phone rather than just meeting them right away. So what I did, I was having a conversation with him over the phone. Days passed by. It was perfect. And then I started to see him, like, his true colors, you know what I mean? And how it started, so I was having a conversation with him about, like, you know, kids and whatever. And I said, there was like this topic that was going around, like, oh, what would you do? And I know my son extreme, but I was asking him, like, oh, what would you do if your son got a girl pregnant? What would you do? Right? I was just asking him, I was curious about what does he think, right? So then he was like, oh, well, if my son got a girl pregnant, he shouldn't, like, take care of the child because that's her fault. And I was like, wait, how is that her fault? It takes two people to make a baby. How is that her fault? You know, she didn't force him. You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, well, my son has to finish his education, so it's not his fault. You know, it's her fault. She wants to keep the baby, so she deals with it. And my child will not, he said his son will not pay for child support or anything at all.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily have control over that, right?
Yeah, but he's the type, he likes to control. Like, after I heard this opinion about this topic, it seems like he likes to control. Like, he wants to control his son, you know? He wants his son to finish his education and ignore his responsibility that he had a child. That he just created a child with a woman.
That doesn't sound like a good combination at all. That doesn't sound good for
Yeah.
sure.
And then after that...
Go ahead.
Sorry. And then after that, I was like, that's odd, because, you know, he chose to, do the thing and have a baby. It takes two to make a baby. How is that fair?
Stop on your screen. 10K, guys. Stop on your screen, please. Follow if you're new. Go ahead.
Yeah, how is that fair? And then I changed the topic, you know, that's like, I like to add notes about, okay, that's weird, you know, right? I like to give people 3 chances, right? It might sound odd to people, but that's just me, right? So I was like, okay, 1 chance is gone. Let me hear more. I'm just curious about his personality. I want to hear more. So then after that, he started to speak about, you know, he follows Andrew Tate. You know Andrew Tate, right?
That guy, yeah.
Yes. So he says, like, he believes what Andrew Tate believes in. And how I found out that he follows Andrew Tate we were having a conversation, and you know, from where I come from, my culture, it says to keep yourself until marriage, right? So me, I've never done anything with anyone because I choose not to. It's my choice, you know? So then I asked him, I was like, you know, have you previously, you know, done anything with any woman? He said, to be honest with you, yes, I have. And I was like, okay, how many? I'm curious because if it's one, whatever, right? He was like, 40 women, 40. And mind you, he's only 24 years old, 24 or 25 years old. And then I was like, huh? Sorry? He was like, yeah, 40. And I was like, when did that happen? He was like, when I was in college. I was like, were you studying in college or were you clapping? You know, because what is going on? And then he was like, it doesn't matter because we men, we're supposed to sleep with a lot of women. It's normal. But for you women are supposed to stay virgin. And I was like, okay, if you want women to stay virgin, then who are the men gonna sleep with if all women should stay virgin? How does that make sense? You know? How does that make sense if all women need to stay virgin? But who are you gonna sleep with if men are supposed to sleep around to have more experience? And then he was like, oh, well, I guess, you know, women who sell themselves, I guess, but most women should stay virgin. I was like, you're so weird. What is this opinion? He was like, well, we cannot deny biology. I was like, biology? What are you even talking about? This has nothing to do with biology. That you're just lustful and you can't control yourself. You're lustful. For like 40 women in college? And it was only he had his bachelor. It was 4 years, and he slept with 40 women within these 4 years. How is that possible? I don't even know. So after that, I just told him like, you know, this is not working. And then he was like, why? I was like, because you are not the type of guy I want. You're very close-minded. You're not humble. Like, you're just arrogant. And you think that just because you're a man, you can do everything you want. And he was like, you're just being judgmental and not accepting the fact that you need to be a woman and you need to act like a woman. I told him, yes, I'm acting like a woman. And right now I'm being a woman, so I'm cutting you off as a woman. And then he was like, okay. And then I blocked him right away. And I just hung up on him and blocked him. That's it. That was the end of the story.
Wow.
Crazy work, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know something. You know exactly what you want, and
I do, yeah.
you're still in business. You're still in business.
Thank you.
Wow.
Of course, I mean, I learned it from my parents because, you know, they've been married for like 30 years plus. So I've learned it from them, and I'm happy that they taught me, you know, what to find in a partner. And I look.
Could you give us?
Ooh, that's good. The advice I will give everyone is take your time, and there's nothing wrong with being single. You would rather be single than to be in a relationship and feel lonely and feel not heard, because you will feel miserable, and you don't want to be miserable with the wrong person. It's okay to be alone. You know, sometimes you can feel lonely, and that's okay, but you would rather be lonely single than lonely in a relationship. And that's my advice.
Someone in the chat, real fast before you go, let's have a laugh. One sec. Someone in the chat said, we talking about relationships, and let's talk about the economic state of the world, rather. I mean,
Hayden.
listen to me, Kurt. Hey, listen, come on. There are other streams for that. Just imagine, we don't want to stay, we don't want to be depressed, you know. This live stream is about people sharing their stories, and you know, people who are experiencing similar situation, they can have some understanding how someone else deal with that situation and how they can navigate theirs. There's a lot of issues. These are some. This is one. Anyway, thank you, Nini, for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Take care.
You too. I don't know how to leave. Kick me out.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, definitely. Oh, someone said, oh, yes, Raven. Raven. Let's get the next person in. I have 6 requests right now. 6. So I'll get the next person in right now. Let's get... You've been here for a minute. Guys, if you're new, remember, if you want to see me next time, you gotta hit me with that follow so that while you're scrolling, you can see me. Remember. I'm just getting the next person in right now. If you have a story of your own that you want to share, you gotta hit the request to join. Hi. Hi, can you hear me? LYNNCL Clark. Lynn, can you hear me?
Yeah. No, I can.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, let's get the next person in. GUGS, let's get you up here. Remember, guys, if you're here for the first time, you have a story that you want to share, hit that request, and I'll get you in afterwards. Hi. Can you hear me, GUGS? Hi. GUGS 20. Sounds like it's raining there. Hello, Goose. Anyways, who else? Let's keep the requests coming in. If you have a story of your own that you want to share, hit that request to join and I'll get you up here. Christine. Let's get Christine in. Christine is loading. Hi, can you hear me, Christine?
Hi.
Hi, welcome to my live. Welcome. First time here?
First time on a live.
Oh, well, welcome to the first one. All right, you have a story of, for us today?
I heard the young lady that was talking earlier on, and she said like she wasn't pretty.
Oh.
And I'm from the Caribbean, so like to me, in this day and age, there's no such thing as you're not pretty. It's how you present yourself. Because I know like girls that are not all that pretty, and they package yourself. They start showing themselves some self-love. You know, you buy yourself some jewelry. You know, you show yourself some love.
It's all about confidence, you know, you
I've
just...
been, it's confidence. Because I raised up like with a house of boys, and I used to always get bullied saying that I was ugly as I was growing up. And he's like, because I was acting like a tomboy. And he's like, my mother always used to tell me, oh, you're beautiful, don't mind what people say. And you know, she used to build my self-confidence. And I grew up building my self-confidence, knowing that even though people didn't find me pretty, but I found myself pretty. And sometimes guys used to approach me, and especially in the neighborhood, and they would try to talk to me, and I'd, you know, cut my style, and you know, and they would say like, oh, but you're not all that pretty. To me, I'm pretty and I don't care. And I never sell myself short. And you know, I grew up, as I grew and I got into teenage years and stuff, I started, you know, developing more, and I started getting prettier because I told myself that I'm pretty. And you telling yourself that you're pretty, you grow into something pretty. You tell yourself you're ugly, and you become ugly.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a interesting point of view there.
But then so then like my situation is like I'm self-employed and I have kids, and I just cannot seem to like settle down in a relationship. It's like every time like I try a relationship, is like it seems like because I'm independent and I work for myself and I make my own money, it's difficult for me to settle down with a man because it's like I don't know, some way or somehow they come short. So most times it's like I pay the bills and I do me, and most of the times like they mostly want a housewife. They want somebody to clean up after them, cook, take care of them, and they're not willing to like even give you like bare minimum, like cutting the grass or doing house chores like what a man's supposed to do around the house.
Yeah.
So I keep finding myself back in a single, and then like it's only this year like I started realizing I pour into people more than I pour into myself. And I decided, well, I'm going to start loving myself more and taking care of me more. So I start buying myself stuff, start taking care of myself, start going out, putting the lashes, doing the hair, that kind of thing. Because most of the time, sometimes you're in a relationship and the relationship almost like it's draining you. It makes you tired. It makes you lazy. It's like, especially sometimes when you reach to the point where they begin to stress you out, you like trying and it's like, and I like, okay, I say like, you know what? I'm doing me now. And I think I'm comfortable just being alone right now. Cause I don't know what's wrong with the men nowadays. It's like they don't have morals anymore. It's like men just want to most men is like, it's a game. It's like a game. It's like most times they just want to be sleeping around and lying, manipulating, playing games, and they just want you to accept that. And some of us out there, we actually want a committed man, because if you're a woman and you're committed, you want a committed man, but they want you to be committed and they don't want to be committed to you. That's my story.
So in the end, you pretty much choose yourself, like you cut out all the drama, at least for
Yeah,
now. Okay.
I cut off the drama for now and I decide to just choose me because I figure it's like I've been taking care of people my whole life, taking care of my family members, taking care of my kids. Basically, every time like a family problem, somebody in a family have a problem, I'm the one. Sometimes I have to rescue them or, financially. And I've just been exhausted for days. And it's like some of them even ungrateful,
Yeah.
It's like you just keep. It's like even friends. When I choose friends, and we would be like in a circle, everybody just leashes off me, like they always need, and every time like I need a shoulder, it's like I just cannot get it everywhere I turn. So I just decide I cut off everybody. The friends that I choose is like very, very small. And that's the ones that are there for me when I am in need. I begin to just cut people off. All the people have been using me through the years, I just decide to cut them off one by one. Even family members, I stop that. Because it's like, they can do without you. A lot of them actually do without you. But because you keep running to their rescue, so they keep using you. So right now, I just choose me and my immediate family, like my mother and my kids. That's it.
Oh, well, I mean, no one can blame you based on your experience. Someone said, this is good. If they are negative, cut them off. Your peace of mind is important. Definitely. Nini. Guys, if you're new here, remember, guys, if you're new, hit that follow so you can see me next time while you're scrolling. If you have a story that you want to share of your own, hit the request to join and I'll get you in next. Christine, what advice could you give us overall? I think you've said so much, but like, final, what advice could you give us? Like,
It's like what I'm. Anybody out there, if no one is choosing you, and everyone is like, you have to love yourself first. And the moment people realize that you love people or you put people before you, they begin to take advantage of you. So we have to choose ourselves first. Sometimes we have to be selfish. You know,
all right.
sometimes you have to be selfish because when people realize that you love yourself and you pour it into yourself, people begin to love you more and they begin to respect you more.
Wow. That's a good, guys. I hope everyone is listening right now. If you're listening, type listen in the chat. Listen. Christine, thank you so much for joining and sharing your story, your experience, your advice. Yeah, I hope someone learned something from it. Wish you all the best, Christine.
Oh, I'm from St. Lucia.
St. Lucia. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. Take care.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Bye. Olivia, can you hear me? Olivia, welcome. Can you hear me?
Come up, huh?
Olivia, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
I'm sorry, I'll connect it to my headphones.
Okay, I'm hearing you clearly.
So this is a relationship I just recently got out of, and I'm hoping a lot of the young women can listen and learn from my mistakes. But
How long ago?
I broke up with him January, like the second week of January of this year.
Okay.
It's a long story. I started dating him February of 2024. Before that, it wasn't just, like automatic snap fingers, us get together. It took him about 3 tries for me to finally be like, yeah, sure, I'll date you. And even in the beginning, my gut was kind of telling me, like, I think we just might need to go back to being friends. And, he wasn't exactly taking it as an answer, so I just...
How long were you friends for?
Before that, we were friends since the summer of 2023.
Oh, okay.
But I've known him since 4th grade. Like, this was someone I went to school with. So we started dating, and at first, I know people like to call it love bombing. That might have been what it was, but the first few months, he seemed like a dream come true. He was hitting all the right spots, surprising me in good ways, but then it just slowly started going left field. And it got to the point where, I would say I loved him more than anyone else I've ever loved. But I will still say he didn't get the best version of me, and I'm glad he didn't, because you just got to hear the whole story. So, I'm black, he was white. So, everything I would say was fine until, what was that? That meant we started dating February. When it got to October of 2024, there's a race, a NASCAR race comes to kind of like where we live. And the night before the race, his brother had said the N-word. And yeah, it's crazy. So I said, like, I don't want to be around your brother, nothing like that. And it's crazy because afterwards, I ended up getting left stranded at work because he went with his brother to the race. That was, I still say to this day, that should have been when I left. Because that was the lowest moment of my life. And I know people are judging, but I mean, you have to tell a story so people learn. But I'm telling, the main point to everyone is the first time they do something like that, leave. Like, no matter, I don't care how much you love them, leave them. So after that, a lot of other stuff started happening. That's when we started arguing more. Like, we would argue to the point where, like, when I broke up with him from crying so much, there was like lines up under my eyes because of how dehydrated my eyes were from crying. Like it was tight up under my eyes everywhere I looked. So everything started happening. There was one point, now keep in mind, I'm sorry, I kind of go everywhere with this, but it got to a point where his manipulation was real strong to where like I would even be afraid to have certain thoughts. It would be like to the point where I would look at someone and be like, oh, they're not bad looking, even though I didn't want to be with them, you know. That's just how far the manipulation went, because he would always say, like, you know, you're wrong for that and everything, but he wasn't always honest with me. And that's why I know God is real, because I've never like once checked his phone. I wouldn't say I'm the insecure type, but you know, when I finally went to God about it and I asked him, like, you know, God, if there's something I need to know, please let me know. And the next day I kept feeling like, you know, such a pull to check his phone. And I did, and I seen there were snaps to a girl, and I'm so thankful she didn't open them, because if she opened them, they probably would have disappeared. But I seen it, but we were at it was July 4th, we were at my parents' house, but I'm not the type of person to cause a scene, so I just seen it and took a mental note for later when we weren't around my parents. So that happened. We went to go watch fireworks for 4th of July, and that's when I asked to see his phone, and that's when I seen that it said, like, I still remember the dates. I seen that it was recent, because on Snapchat, if anyone still has it, if someone sends like a picture, like a snap, it deletes within like 31 days, if I'm not mistaken. But also, if it's from years prior, it would say the year. And so me and him got into it. He took me home. He was like, you've always been honest with me, even if it's something I didn't want to hear, so I'll do the same with you. Next day, I did my research. I was like, there's no way that was like, you know, from a year before. So I try to give him a few days, because I'm like, you know, I'm gonna give him a chance to just, you know, come up to me and be honest. So this is where it gets like kind of crazy, because it was a Tuesday. I came up to my parents' house because I stopped staying with my parents because they would say stuff about my boyfriend, so I would stay with my grandparents. And I learned the hard way, ladies, so please listen when I tell you. I came back up to detail my mom's car, because I do more than just vacuuming. Like, I'll get all the gunk stuff out of her car. And before this, you know, I kind of asked God to like show me a train whenever, like, kind of like his way of speaking to me. And I was on the phone with him during this time, and the second he said, I can't wait to see you, because I was like, I plan to see him to break up with him. And then I started like, you know, thinking maybe I shouldn't do it, but then I had a train horn. I took that as God saying, go through with it. So when the day came, it's crazy how the trains like responded to me. Right before you get into like his town, there's like a train track. But as I said a prayer before I even got close to where you see a train track, and I said, Lord, please be with me. And right when I opened my eyes, I seen a train that was sitting on a track. I've never seen a train sitting on this track. They're always on the other one, because this is kind of an old track, so they don't really run trains on it anymore. And the train like didn't start moving until I got next to it, and it's like it started pacing right beside me. I took that as God saying he's with me. So we go to Walmart, you know. I'm still trying to like play it cool, like, okay, maybe he'll tell me. He never got telling me, so we went to Subway. I'm like kind of nervous because anything could happen, and something did happen. But I ordered my Subway. He sits down, starts eating. I said, let me go use the restroom. I go use the restroom, and I just kind of like try to give myself a pep talk in the mirror. But I'm also like, God, please be with me. And I forget what I went out to the car for. Right when I stepped out the Subway, I heard a train horn. I went and got whatever I went to the car for, came back in, and I'm like, I know the first thing I said to him was like, I know the snaps, those were recently sent. And he just kind of started crying, just picked up his stuff. Well, not started crying, but, he looked upset, picked up his stuff, walked outside. And I had already had all his stuff packed up in the trunk. And I said, hold on, wait, before you leave, I need to give you your stuff back. And I picked up stuff, and I went to go hand it to him, and he snatched it out of my hand. In the process, it caused a bracelet on my hand and scraped my arm. And he throws it back in the trunk. And I didn't notice, but apparently State Farm, they were watching the whole time. So, and I guess the subway people came and peeked their head out because it was a whole scene. And I told him after that, I was like, if you touch me again, I will call the police. After that, I'm like, let me go get my food and stuff because I literally left everything. I think my phone and wallet sitting in the subway, so I had to go back and get it. I go back in there, I came back, he's sitting on the sidewalk. He's calling somebody. And it got to a point where, he was just over there kind of like making noise, like I was nowhere near him at this point. But I was like, I had Benadryl because he had bites, and I get bit pretty bad. Like I'm allergic to like anything that bites me. I have an allergic reaction to it. Now I was trying to be nice, give him some Benadryl to put on his bites because all I could think about was Jesus washing Judas's feet. Because I really do try to live by the Bible. But as I went to it, just like kept yelling at me, get away from me and get away from me. So I finally started walking away. He started calling my name, and I just turned around and said, God will deal with you. Then he started saying like, called you're a faggot, you're a lesbian. And that's because I told him, like in middle school, I thought I went through a phase where I thought I was, but I wasn't. But ever since then, he always used that against me. So when he says that to me, I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm calling the police because somebody needs to be here because he's acting completely crazy. So I call the police. He like gets in his car, takes off, and he still didn't tell me the truth the whole time out of this. And I went home because I gave the police report and all that. They were like, if we catch him, today we are gonna have to arrest him. And so that happened. I went home. He called me like hours later, and I was like,
Continue. I'm gonna grab something. Okay, just continue.
okay. He came back hours later. Not came back, called me hours later, and I was like, you still won't tell me the truth. And then he's finally like, yes, I did touch her. And this was after he was like, I put it on my own mom, I put it on my own dead nephew, yada, yada, yada. And so we had been broken up, but a whole lot of stuff happened. He tried to kill himself, allegedly, supposedly. I was still speaking with him, and I think I should have completely stopped speaking to him. But I just kept worrying about him doing something to himself because he's still not in the right mental spot. That's one thing I was telling him, you need to go to therapy. Always need to go to therapy. His own family pushed him for him to go to therapy. But that's one thing, like, I had to like stop caring as much. But I ended up dating him, I think, some weeks later. Ended up just dating him again. Shouldn't have. But after that, we just kept arguing until it got to a point where he called me the B word, and all I thought about was my dad. And that's how my dad is towards my mom. And I was like, and I always said to myself, I would never marry a man that is like my dad. So that's when I was like, we're done. We're broken up. That was January of this year. So I would say Nene, I would say I'd still care about him. Like I still want him to grow, but this is the catch. So he's already talking to someone else. We're like 3 months out of it. He was speaking to me, but he didn't let her know that he was still speaking to me, so she had to reach out to me. And I didn't even know she had reached out to me till I seen a text from him saying, I'm talking to someone. And
And I was like, wow, and I'm not blocked, because I don't understand why he didn't just block me, because I would not have noticed, because I wasn't speaking with him. Because we'd already exchanged our stuff back to each other. We got all that done. We were like, okay, we don't need to even be speaking to each other daily. We wish each other good, good luck to one another. It wasn't like a, oh, I hate you type thing. But this girl, she had to reach out to me, and I had to tell her, like, yeah, he's actually still been speaking to me. She was like, we've been talking for about 26 days. And I was like, well, he's still been speaking to me. And then he told me stuff. She told me, she was like, he tries to make me seem crazy to people. I said, he did the same thing to me. And I told her, look, because she got to where, and I seen it coming, I was like, she's going to start blaming me for it. Because that's just how far the manipulation goes. And I'm like, I try to tell her, okay, he's already lied to you within the first 20 days of you talking to him. He's already trying to make you look crazy to people. And when she called him about it, apparently he just hung up on her. And I said, look, this is your decision. This was after she like kind of started. At first she was cool, and then she started being, a certain type of way towards me. And I did test his grandfather. I said, you need to get your grandson in order, because God is not happy with him. Like, and that's one thing I'm sure I've never really felt like, I've
You
never
think that
heard
God is
emotion.
not happy with him?
Say that one more time.
You said God is not happy with him?
No, like that's one thing God will do. Like it's kind of crazy, but I like ask God a question, and He'll give me a verse, and it'll literally be a straight answer to me and to me asking something. And He'll get on to me too, through Bible verses too. He'll just call me to read it, and I'll go read it, and I'll be like, okay, I understand. But I told her, like, I don't care if you date him. It's the fact that I had to get pulled into it, because he didn't just block me, and then you had to text me to get the truth out of me. And I said, I promise you, he will keep lying to you. And I did text his grandfather. I said, he needs to get right with God, because God is not to be played with. He's really not. And I was telling him, I can't trust his mom, because his mom, that's one thing I will always say. How mothers let their sons treat them will determine how he treats women, and also their parents are a big example. And I want to say that's part of the reason I just kept going with it, was because he was such a reflection of my dad. And my mom said with my dad, she's still with my dad, but I still think they would be happier separated, because this is the toxic. It's just too toxic. But I told her that's really a question of your own self-worth, whether or not you keep talking to him, because the signs are already there that it's not a relationship that's going to be built on a strong foundation. I mean, our relationship
You
wasn't.
ever told your mom and dad that?
Huh?
You ever said that to your mom and dad?
Have I ever said that to my mom or dad? Actually, I've told my mom numerous times, like, I've told her numerous times, like, maybe you do need to split away from him, because my dad has done a lot of bad stuff. And I promise, like, if she was one of the first people to tell me, and I'm like, see, I should have listened to her, because she warned me about the person I was dating. I was like, stubborn, acting like I knew better. But she would always say, like, he reminds me of your dad. But when he called me, like, the B word, I was like, it was like I knew in that moment. I was like, I gotta get out of here, because that's one thing I can stand on. I will never marry a man who's anything like my dad. But yeah, so now that actually happened today, the thing with the girl I was testing her. For Nene, I honestly couldn't tell you if she was. I want to say she's mixed, because her facial features, like I've seen her pictures and everything, but all I know is he's just gonna keep being this bad person. And I know when you lie like that, that gets you in a lot of trouble. And then he already has a warrant. So, and there's two places I don't have the best feeling about his future. Like, I still care about him. If like I see him out and he's hurt, I would still help him, because I don't think if you truly love someone, you just completely stop caring about them. I don't think that
can happen. You may not still love them as in want to be with them, but I still feel like, you know, you would still hope they're healthy.
You know what we left? Juice. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, 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 yeah. 5-9, brown eyes, in a shimmy, yeah, shimmy, 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 yeah. In a shimmy, yeah, shimmy, 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 yeah. 5-9, brown eyes, in a shimmy, yeah, shimmy. We need to leave soon. In a shimmy, yeah, shimmy, 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 yeah. 5-9, brown eyes.
All right. So here we go again, guys, with another one. How are you guys doing? Let's start off by asking, how is the day going for y'all? Can you guys hear me? Mic check. Dayton, what's up? You're back already. You see, you know this, right? I'm trying an early one today. Okay, I'm doing an early one today. Yesterday, it was a bit late, to be honest. And I did want to, when I start late, I'm not able to go as long as I want to. So, guys, right now, it's the first time you're probably seeing me in the daytime. How are you guys doing? What's it like in your city? If it's your first time, I want you to type first in the chat. If it's your very first time watching my live stream, type first in the chat. And let's get some flares going as well, guys. Let's get some flares going. Let's do that. Yeah, now we are gonna be running it up. Now, is it your first time watching my live stream? Let's see. Today's gonna be no joke. Yesterday we had some very amazing stories. Today we're gonna be doing the same thing, for sure. We're doing the same thing today for sure. Yesterday was awesome. We're gonna make it even more fantastic today. That's what we're doing. So as you already know, day 10. I see you with the like, day 10. So guys, what am I doing here? How's my day? My day is going good. It's going good so far. Yeah, my day is going good so far. I'm seeing a lot of new people though. I'm seeing a lot of new faces for sure. I guess that's the benefit of trying in the daytime, because I've only been doing it in the night. You know, Dayton. I've only been doing my live stream in the night, so can you guys hear me though? Can you hear me? Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it crystal clear? I'm still getting my stuff all set up here. I see you dating.